Can't you see you're not making Christianity better? You're just making rock and roll worse. With human guns all around, time and time again. It's alright, I'm glad to be asleep, 'cause I don't wanna need the comfort all day and place. But there's a hunger along the church, yeah, from a life to live when I'm away. So let's go there. Let me down, keep on, let's go there. Oh, I can stay, tell you to make me higher. Tell you to make me higher. For the life of the world change, it helps me to appreciate those nights and those dreams. But my friend, I sacrificed all those nights if I could make here the night dreams the same. The only difference is to let love replace all again. Let's go further. Let's get young, keep on, let's go further. First I can repay, tell you to make me higher. Simply when I'm lying on the street, can you take me higher? Simply when I'm falling, let's go below. Let's go below. Oh, I can stay. And they will not. Stood high on strong and love, so take this drink and this in mine. Tell me what's in higher. Tell me what's on my feet. Tell me what's in higher. Tell me what's on my feet. Tell me what's in higher. Hello, I'm Hank Hill. Clogged toilets are a serious issue that affects everyone. I'd like to take a moment to give you a few pointers on proper toilet usage so what happened in this episode won't happen to you. First off, items like cotton swabs, chewing gum, cigarettes, and, lady things should not be flushed. The basic rule is never flush anything down a toilet that doesn't come directly, from you. For tougher clogs, purchase a snake at a local hardware store or consult your local Yellow Pages for a certified plumber in your area. If it's a father and son company, request the father. And finally, I want you to know that no pipes were actually damaged in the making of this episode. Thank you.
Request the father. Those are words to live by. That's not what I Just checking real quick. You can hear me, right? Dad, what do we do if someone asks for their steak well done? We ask them firmly but politely to leave. All right, let's hop into this thing. We got CDOGG with us. Why is my screen not showing up? Go ahead, buddy. Tell them what's going on today. Let me fix this.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. Yeah, you.
Let me take a sip first.
That was, wow. That was like the most annoying noise ever, but go ahead while I fix my own video.
I had to take a big slurp for this week. It was quite a weekend. At first, I gotta say I wasn't so stoked yesterday with our performance. Of course, we did pull out the win, but the day wound up finishing in a fantastic way. So
There we go. Yeah, we had the Golden Game Day. For people who don't know what the Golden Game Day is, can you educate them?
The Golden Game Day is a term I came up with that refers to a game day in which Georgia Tech wins and Georgia loses. And they are few and far in between, but when they do happen, it's pretty special. Check out these new shades I got. So I lost my shades in the pool. So I ordered a new pair of the gold ones, but I also got these black ones. How cool is that? Oh yeah,
That's pretty sweet.
So now I have a black, a gold pair, and a white pair.
I like it.
I have the whole set. Pretty sweet. I'm gonna do the black tonight. Sorry, I'm just so excited for those. I also ordered the pool party shirt. But yeah, Golden Game Day, freaking Bulldogs lost. It made me so happy. And if you have to pick any game for them to lose, besides the one against us, of course, it would be the Alabama game, because that's like the one game that they'd want to win. Like they care so much about winning that game, and they never can. And it's amazing.
Yeah, did you see Kirby got kind of testy about it? Like, well, what's other people's record against him? Like he was
He did?
Yeah, I think in the press conference, someone in the chat can probably confirm.
I can imagine.
It's not
I can
good.
imagine.
Now, what is the number to the right of our record? The rightmost number on our record?
I think it'll be a 0.
What's theirs?
Theirs contains a positive numeral.
Yeah.
Right?
Can you relate to that?
I can't. I really wish I could empathize with them, but I really just can't even imagine what it's like, what it would be like to have anything but a 0 in the right column of your win-loss total.
Undefeated, baby. Now, there's a lot to talk about. First of all, this past weekend was a crazy weekend of college football, just in general. Now, us as Tech fans, we're feeling good. We got what we felt like were some good wins, but then those teams ended up losing. But I don't think anyone felt like the game that we played against Wake would go down the way that it did. It wouldn't have surprised me if we lost. But that we just don't show up for an entire half of football offensively was surprising to me.
So real quick, Captain Jack asks a good, important question. Is Tech beating UGA a Golden Game Day, or do we get a better name? Well, by definition, the definition is Georgia losing and Georgia Tech winning in the same day. So yes, it would be by definition a Golden Game Day.
But does that get a special moniker?
Does it get a special name? I don't know. Maybe if I come up with it.
Yeah, the Super Golden Game Day.
Yeah. But yeah, that game against Wake was absolutely insane. The tale of two halves, really.
Yeah, now
which is funny because that's what happened in the Georgia game too, kind of.
It was. The Georgia game we were talking about on the phone today was much like the game last year. There wasn't as much disparity in score at one point, but yeah, tale of two halves. Now for Tech, Jamal Haynes I don't know to what degree he's hurt. I haven't watched any of the press conferences. I haven't looked up anything on social media. But we were also talking about this, CDOGG, like people these days really quick to pull the leash on Haynes King. I didn't hear anyone
Yeah,
say don't
look,
put Jamal Haynes out there.
you people are insane. Anybody who's calling for Haynes King,
You people.
not once this year has it ever entered my mind to bench Haynes King. It hasn't. Like, I mean, when I say I'm a Haynes King fan, I mean it. I feel like a lot of people say it and then they turn around and call for him to be benched. Like, come on, you don't just. He turned it around. It wasn't just him that had a bad half. Everybody had a bad half. You
Yeah.
know, and clearly, look, clearly we're trying to. Honestly, I think they've been watching CDOGG because
GT
they've
beating
been.
Uga is an
I
elite
was
golden gaming
bitching
day.
about this at the
Honeybee
beginning of the
emoji,
year. I
greater
was
than
like, look,
dog emoji.
what the
Sorry,
hell
when
is that?
someone super chats, it reads it out. Nerdstop
Oh,
with
go
a
ahead.
$2 said GT beating UJ is an elite golden game day. I like where you're going, but elite is a word ruined by
yeah.
somebody.
I appreciate it, but that actually has a negative connotation. So we'll put that one in the hat.
Yeah.
but listen, I think that the Georgia Tech staff has been listening to CDOG when it comes to um, when it comes to Haynes King, because I was saying at the beginning of the year, I was like, look, we have, Haynes King is, amazing and everything, carrying us on his back, but we can't rely on him, right? We can't rely on him to carry the ball 100 plus yards every game and carry us to victory and not have we're too talented at running back. We're too talented at receiver to not pass the ball. And they've been passing more. We had Haynes King. I looked it up. He had 20 pass attempts against Colorado, 28 against Clemson, and now 42 against Wake Forest, which was crazy. And I feel like they're really trying to work on the pass game, and they had him throw it a lot too against Temple. Now he only had 18, but of course, well, for one, he didn't play the whole game, and also, um, you got to kind of pay attention not to just the pass attempts, but the nature of the passes, because we were trying to get the medium and long game going, stretch the field rather than
In the second half.
rather than the kind of safe high percentage like behind the line of scrimmage and short yardage type stuff that we had been kind of running at the beginning of this year and last year. So I think that they really are trying to feature the receivers more, because we have great receivers and they don't, they haven't been shining, but damn, they had a game, this past week. I think we're really trying to work it into our identity that we can pass to. So I think that, there might be a little bit of transitional, maybe growing pains from that as well, contributing to our offensive struggles. Because look, it worked great against Temple 3 drives in a row, and then we completely stalled out. We had to
Yes.
resort back to going back to the run game, right, against Temple, because the pass just completely did not work for us. And we had to too. I'm sorry, I'm rambling a bit, but we had
No, go
to
ahead.
as well against Wake. Like, we started out slinging it and stuff. We never stopped, but we did kind of get Haynes King in the second half to um, to run it more. It seemed like he ran it more in the second half himself. Um,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming I don't know if that was the game plan, because it kind of seems like it wasn't, because we didn't start throwing downfield more, and I'm not even downfield. We just started throwing beyond the line of scrimmage. So we're throwing a lot of comeback routes to Rivers, throwing out routes and slants to Canyon.
but even that, the medium stuff, even that was not, that was not super common,
No, 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 no.
last year or even at the beginning of this year. And then we try to take a couple shots too. They're really trying to get the Rivers and King connection going. and it did in the second half, but it wasn't in the
did.
first half.
Well, look, I think that we came out against Wake and we're like, we're going to do the same old shit we always do.
Yeah.
And then that got stuff because anyone that's I mean, me and you could scheme up Georgia Tech's offense as DCs. I'm just all right. We're just going to stack the box. We're going to bring a ton of pressure, and we're not going to let these bastards breathe for 2 seconds. And they held us without a touchdown in the first half. That's exactly what they did.
Yeah,
we'll just play man coverage, and then if King is able to drop a dime or somewhere in man coverage, so be it. But they ain't going to run all over us. And we didn't run all over them at any point in that game. Even in the second half, we were just able to throw some.
Look, I said this too. I'm like, I'm never going to call for Haynes King to be benched. Like, he's him, you know, even if he has a bad game, you know, and completely blows it. Like, that's my quarterback. Like, I'm ride or die for freaking Haynes King. I'll be the last one, you know, to call for him to be benched. If anyone deserves criticism for that game, at least Haynes turned it around the second half. Jamal Haynes did not. He had a freaking terrible game. Now, if he was, you know, hurt or what, that's whatever. But he was an absolute detriment to the team. Not only was he no help, he was actively hurting us. I mean, getting 1 or 2 yards of carry, dropping passes out of the backfield, and then of course the fumble. Like, it was an absolutely abysmal performance from Jamal Haynes. So,
and that's
that was
not
really
a shot
disappointing
at Jamal Haynes. That's us saying, why is he playing if clearly he's not up to playing? Like, whatever the injury is.
And I haven't seen too much, you know, people talking about, you know, Jamal Haynes as much as freaking Haynes King. And it's like, well, you have all this criticism for Haynes King. Well, he got his head out of his ass. So why not talk about Jamal Haynes? I don't know. Now, look, I love Jamal Haynes too, but he had the worst performance this game.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with the run game. It's disappointing.
Well, I feel like we need to talk about this too, because there's one thing that irritates me is black and white thinking. Like, there's nothing wrong with criticizing Haynes King's play. I've criticized Haynes King's play before. But what I don't understand, and it's like Tech fans are vehemently arguing amongst each other now, and it's either Haynes King is the guy, he's the greatest, or Haynes King ain't it, time to move on. And you don't see any spectrum of things in between. Now, Haynes King doesn't do a great job. Like, Haynes King almost sets people up for that, because he'll come out in the first half and not play well at all. He did not play well at all. And then he'll come out in the second half, and I mean, it doesn't break down yardage by half on ESPN, but he threw for 248 yards. I would assume, and someone correct me if they think I'm wrong, the vast majority of those came in the second half. So, like, he'll pop off in the second half, and you're like, damn, I was thinking about bitching him in the back of my head, but then he does stuff like that. And you just kind of have to keep that in mind, you know?
It's tough. Look, I'm not saying I don't get it. Like, we have that. Obviously, we have Philo, who's an incredible backup and led us to wins and games. And the fact is, Philo has more chemistry with the receivers. So when you see the receivers underperforming and not getting, you know, utilized to their full potential, and we're struggling offensively, it's like, hey, get Philo in here. Philo.
Yeah.
But
yeah, well,
I get it. But I'm a freaking Haynes King fan. Like, he's the guy, like, he is clutch. He's won us so many more games. Like, you can't just throw him out. It's his last year. He's our quarterback this year. He is. He should be. He is going to be. And then Philo is staying. We need to retain Philo for next year, because he's going to be the guy next year. And yeah, we're going to probably be more of a pocket passing offense next year. So they'll get their wish there, but then I don't know. Maybe they'll be like, Knowles.
Bring the tall guy in. Philo can't see over the line of scrimmage. Like, Wreck and CDOGG are taller than this cat. That's what it'll be. But,
you know how it is. The backup quarterback's always the most popular player.
No, and I get that. And part of it is a testament to how good Philo is. And I totally get that. But here's the thing. Let's just deal in facts for a second. they're not going to bench Haynes King. Whether you think we would be better served just playing Philo and using like King's situation, like that's not going to happen. So it doesn't, to me, do any good to just be like, I'm just going to argue with everyone and go, roar. Like, what does that do for you? It's not going to happen.
And it's not like Brent Key is Dabo Sweeney, who refuses to bench DJ Ukulele, who freaking sucks and is a complete bust of a 5-star and has never proven anything and just totally blows, right? He's ride or die with Haynes King, who is a freaking beast, has carried us on his back single-handedly to so many victories and delivered us wins that we could only dream of, back in as short a span of time ago as the freaking Jeff Collins days. And yeah, so we're riding or dying with our proven quarterback. Like, players have bad games. Like, it's not just King that can have a bad game or a bad day or whatever. Like, a freaking tackle could have a bad game, a linebacker could. I guess it's just more obvious when it's a quarterback, but I'm my leash for Haynes King is very, very long.
Yeah, I'm just more reluctant than most. I mean, you listen to these numbers. 28 of 42 is not great. It's a little bit bad as far as efficiency, but
that's 67%.
I don't know. Someone do the math for me.
67%.
Okay, it's good. Yeah. All right, 243 yards. He was also the leading rusher. So he had 42 throws.
That's the problem.
21 carries, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground, 1 touchdown through the air, 0 turnovers. So this is okay. So 66%, most quarterbacks are going to be okay with 66%. And I guess I'm looking at that. And then this is what people will say. Well, you just can't look at stats in a vacuum. I'm not. I saw the guy play, but he accounted for the vast majority of your offense there. Like, what is that? 349 yards, and we had 400 and something.
Yeah, we inexplicably can't run the ball. So Haynes King just does it himself. And now he's passing 42 times a game. So he's doing it all,
Yeah.
He's doing it all.
And I see what people are saying in chat, and you're right. Yeah, he holds on to the ball too long, and that's not going to change. He absolutely holds on to the ball too long. But enough about the Haynes King. As what does Kangaroo Black say?
It is what it is.
It is what it is, brother. Now, who do you think our next leading rusher was?
Had to be Hosley.
It was Hosley, 8 carries, 36 yards.
Yeah. That's freaking terrible, too.
In fact, King was the only one that scored in that game.
What did he average? It had to be like 2 or 3 yards a carry.
It was 4.5. I mean, 8 carries on 36 yards.
That shocks me. Okay. Well, I wonder what Jamal's was then.
10 carries, 21 yards, so 2.1 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Then Dalen Gordon had 1 carry for 4 yards. I mean, that's the thing and this is what's kind of curious to me. Everyone's so quick to MF King, and then you look at the contribution of people that aren't Haynes King, and you're like, well, what do you want the guy to do? I mean, we had 163 rushing yards. King was 106 of them. What do you do with that?
Why can't we run the ball? Why? Why did Jamal Haynes fall off? What's going on here? Is it it's a mix of blame between the offensive line and the running backs. This is freaking unacceptable. 36 yards for our leading rusher. That's not Haynes King. Come on. And the receivers were, I'm glad that they're getting, worked into the game too, because they need to be. We can't, like I said, we can't keep freaking relying on Haynes King. It's got to be, everybody else has to help too. And the receivers did a good job. They are we a pass team this year?
No.
Not crazy.
No.
But
not at all.
Are we a running team then? What are we? We're a Haynes King team.
We're a Haynes King team attempting to be a running team at the moment.
We are not a freaking running team.
On the
I'll tell you
Wake
that.
Forest side, Claiborne 21 carries, 119 yards. That guy is a player. That Claiborne
Yeah.
kid is something else. I was surprised you had
Yeah.
not heard of him before.
No, he ate our lunch, dude. I hadn't heard of him, but I know him now. That guy ate our lunch. He was really good.
Let me see if I can find his 40 time. He's listed at okay, 4.42, somewhere around 4.42. Here we go.
When will Chad be back?
When will Chad be back? I think October was what they were saying. Sometime in October. But
Can't
yeah.
wait for the walk-on to come save the day.
The
Good
walk-on.
Lord. That's how down bad we are. Isn't Chad Alexander a walk-on?
Yeah, I think you're
He
right.
walked on, didn't he? He got a scholarship, but he was a walk-on.
Yeah. Now, Eric Rivers was our leading receiver with 77 yards, 8 receptions. He was averaging 9.6 yards a catch, 1 touchdown, long as 17. So he did good. And then Isaiah Canyon, 70 yards.
Yeah, Eric Rivers was really clutch at the end of the game there on the tying drive or whatever it was. They kept targeting him at the end of the game, and it was money. They were picking on whatever matchup they had. And then Isaiah Canyon I can't believe that we got him, dude. He's so good.
That's an NFL receiver if I've ever seen one.
We've got to do whatever. We got to start putting players in the NFL, which is going to mean that we got to retain them.
Rivers walked on twice? Damn.
Did he really?
He must have walked on an FIU and then somewhere else, I guess.
Yeah, Rivers is nasty too. And we got to get them involved we have too good of an offense for, for this. Like we got to get them involved too. Like, so I was extremely happy with the receivers and the passing game. Really the past couple games. Well, outside of, when the offense took a shit in the Temple game. But I really think we're just not used to passing this much and stretching the fields as Haynes King. It's not our identity, which is what I tried to say. Like, it's not Haynes King's strong suit.
This is true. But
I mean, hey, as it appears that he can throw just fine from what I've seen.
But you know what? We all else, setting all that aside, we are undefeated. And there's a few things that have gone into that. Now, I don't know if you've seen people talking out here on the mean streets of the internet, but the mustache it's a legend all its own now. Now, it's no coincidence that we started going undefeated here. I started using King's Ransom beard oil. I used the Mountain. I put it on before every game, and I say a little prayer to the football gods. All right, so if you would like to get some, you can use promo code WreckTalk. You know what would be great, dude? If we had people go into the games all in mustaches, all supporting the team. You can click, there's a store right below this. You can use promo code WreckTalk. You can get a little discount. And it's owned by a chemical engineering major from Georgia Tech. I mean, what else could you do? What are you doing if you're not getting King's Ransom today? Go get you some. Go to kingsransomusa.com.
We're also Ryan Alpert, since being hired, is undefeated. Baseball, football, basketball, fucking tiddlywinks, you name it. We're freaking undefeated.
Well, you know what else? That was the most, tumultuous game we've played this year. Would you agree? I mean, that was. Yeah, we're lucky to have won that game, probably.
Yeah.
Is it any coincidence we went hole to hole, and then a miracle happened?
That does seem to be an emerging trend.
Yes.
I mean, 1-0 going hole to hole.
This is true.
The least gay position you can be in.
Dude, people have been quoting you on that, like dash CDOGG, and
Really?
It's true. Yeah, it is true.
It's true.
Now, I do think we need to address, because Josh Pate tweeted about it. I mean, it's everywhere on Twitter. The blown call. And it was a blown call on the offsides for us. They snap the ball and throw it thinking they had a free play. I hate it for Wake Forest. I addressed it on the stream. 100% was a blown call. Now, I was talking to Tantor after the game. Tantor's been watching ball longer than me, been watching the team longer than me. I've been watching Georgia Tech much longer than CDOGG. We could not think of a time where that had happened for Tech, where we were the benefit of a blown call.
I never thought I'd see the day when people accuse us of the fix being in for us.
What was your brother saying?
It's clearly not the case. My brother was sending me videos during the thing. It was so funny. He was like, I don't care if we cheat. Bail them out. Bail them out. I don't care. The ball lies.
The ball
lies.
The ball lies. Yeah, and people have talked about, the forward pass that, was, in a lot of people's opinion, a fumble. And then someone's talking about the horse collar. Look, there were a myriad of blown calls this weekend. I was just going back for the ACC Power Rankings videos, trying to watch all the ACC games. The same no call on a punt catch interference gave Louisville the ball on the one. So that another blown call. And my thing is, would I be pissed if I was Wake? Absolutely. That they probably would have ended the game there had that call been given to them. I didn't miss the call, though. I mean, what can I do about it? I'm going to take a win. And I'm happy we won. And I'm not going to, start lashing myself on the back with a belt saying I'm sorry about it. I've said that I hate it for Wake. But as Kangaroo Black again says, it is what it is, brother.
And that's the thing. You can't put it in the hands of the refs. But, I mean, I get it. You're trying to... I kind of got always irritated with the people who said that, just don't leave it up to the refs. They'll always let you down. It's true. But, you can't just blow everybody out and win by 2 scores every game. You're going to have close games, and the refs are going to matter. It's a fact of the game. So, I mean, they definitely need to be held accountable. They need to be better. I mean, this isn't, a new thing. It's been said for years. But, and I said, the first thing I said on my video, my immediate reaction video, we had just won the game, intercepted his pass or whatever. But the first thing I said was we should have lost that, that was 100% offsides. That would have literally lost us the game if that had been called. And in fact, he threw that ball deep just because he thought that, he had a free play. He thought he had a free play, so instinctually he threw it deep. But so yes, that was a missed call. But I get a lot of people were saying they also completely screwed us with that fumble and right before the beginning of the first half. Now ours was probably worse because yes, I do think that should have been a fumble. How can you call an incomplete pass when there was no pass? He didn't throw the ball. He didn't let it go. So how is that even? He was bringing it back in, and then the pass went backwards. So yeah, we got screwed on that. I don't know how. Maybe if it was the call on the field, but I don't understand how. I don't understand how you overturn that because it's supposed to be indisputable video evidence, whatever. So, but ours was probably worse because it was right at the end of the game versus that was right before the half. But they did get 3 points off of that, and we were able to hit the the game tying field goal because of the missed offsides call. So, the 2 calls did balance each other out. And then it's not like you lost on the spot immediately after that. You had overtime to win the game and still didn't. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, look, it was bad, and people were saying, well, I mean, they could have stopped us, that, and the other. But then there's Georgia was the benefit of what I think was not a pass interference call when we played them last year. And then you could say, well, you could have scored in overtime 3 different times and won it. And I imagine people feel completely differently about those 2 situations. And Minutes and Principal saying it does nothing for their season. I don't know that I agree with that. What's this?
Does
Nerd
Key
stop.
have a fire drill field goal fetish?
Does Key have a fire drill field goal fetish? That man loves not having timeouts going into the final field goal. Now, I did also see the most common response to like us being the benefit of a bad call was Wake Forest going for 2 in that situation. Like people were flaming their coach for that. I thought that was the right call. That's what I would have done.
I don't see what's wrong with it. You just end the game right there. Like you either get it or you don't. I was happy he did because I was ready to be done watching that game.
Oh, dude.
But I mean that it's almost like it makes no difference whether you do it or not. Like he just decided to end the game there. Like I don't know. Now as far as the play call or whatever else, you can maybe criticize that, but the decision to actually go for it, I don't think was a horrible one.
No, and I was ready to be done with that game too. After the game, like that game tore my stomach up. I think I said on the stream, like, dude, I don't feel good at all about this. So, like, I left after the game, and after CDOGG left, I had to turn right back around. I wasn't going to make it very far, and it wasn't great. It was pretty rough. It's pretty rough. After scoring in one play, I'd go for it. Here's my opinion on overtime. This is why against Georgia, I would have kicked the 50-plus yard field goal last year instead of going to overtime. In general, overtime favors the team that's more talented. Georgia Tech is top to bottom more talented than Wake, and as that game goes on longer and longer, you would think that the talent is going to end up winning there.
Yeah. I mean, the same thing happened with Georgia.
Same thing did happen with Georgia. Game management is still not good. So what game management didn't you like, Richard? Because I'm trying to think of like a bad snafu Key had managing the game.
Yeah,
I can't really think of one. You need to have your lineup of Tums. I do, man. I actually have it's over the counter, like the pills you take for acid reflux. I probably need a plethora of different medications to watch Tech now. Because look, let me pull up our schedule. Because I would imagine we all feel way different about our schedule moving forward today than we did Friday. Right?
I don't.
I do.
You do? How so?
I think it's going to be way tougher than we felt like it was going to be. Now, maybe
are you saying based
on
the other team's performances?
Based on
our performance?
Both. Based on our performance. Like, this shit of just not playing offense for an entire half is going to get you beat more than once. You do that, you're going to lose multiple games.
I've been saying that I don't think we're going undefeated. I think we're going to completely lay an egg. It didn't bite us this week, but it will. I would completely, even, 2 losses. I don't know. I don't think that we go undefeated.
I don't either. I mean, I don't either. I didn't think it before the game either. Virginia. So we got a bye, obviously, this week. Thank God. Much needed. Then we have Virginia Tech, who just beat who? Who did Virginia Tech just beat?
NC State.
They beat NC State. Now, I don't know.
NC State not as good as they appeared to be after starting 3-0.
Well, but as we know, weird things can happen with a team under an interim. We did it with Key, right? So I think they're a tougher out than I thought.
I'm terrified. I'm terrified of Virginia Tech. I was terrified of them ever since they fired their coach. Really? I don't want to lose. I told you on the phone earlier. I think the 3 teams I'd least rather lose to: Georgia, Syracuse, and Virginia Tech. If we lost any other game, I could stomach it, but God, please don't let me lose to Virginia Tech. And I obviously don't want to lose to Georgia for obvious reasons. And then Syracuse, I just hate Fran Brown, so I want to beat the shit out of him.
So Virginia Tech, I think, will be tougher than we thought. At Duke. Now, I just watched Duke play Syracuse. Duke has some legit players. Duke has a 1-2 punch at running back that is, I'm not saying they're as good as these guys, but kind of like Gibbs. And who was the power back we had with them that ended up going undrafted? They've got a J.P. Mason Gibbs kind of duo at running back that will tear us up if we're not ready for it. Mensa's playing better. He has the ability to kill you with his arm. And look, that Ashford killed us with his arm And wait, he didn't have the yards to show it, but he was hurt for almost half of the game. He didn't play in. They we were running zone, like cover 2 zone. And when you run cover 2 zone, there's, you look at where the holes in that zone are. Well, the corner has like the flats, right, on the edge. Obviously, the safety has the deep half. So there's a hole between the corner and safety on that side of the field. I can't. 3 times they fit it on a go route right in between those 2 guys, and they weren't easy throws, and it wasn't awful coverage. I was, that's something else I haven't heard about. I was a little let down with our defensive back play against Wake. We gave up some throws we should not have given up.
I was crashing out a little bit on some of those that they let, that they gave up too. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, Ashford only missed 1 drive. Is that true? Okay, I might be wrong.
What?
It felt like
Really?
longer, but he's probably right.
Huh.
Our secondary, specifically our corners, seem to be massive personnel issues to me, and I think we're going to try and cover it up scheme-wise. Well, the only way you can cover up coverage issues is to bring pressure. Here's the other problem we have. We can't get pressure with our down 4. And this is a nasty one too. We have trouble getting pressure when we blitz too. Teams that do a really good job at picking up our blitzes. When that happens, usually someone's wide open. That also happened against Wake quite a bit. But at Duke is a much scarier game than I thought it was going to be. I mean, they beat the dog shit out of Syracuse. Now,
yeah, Syracuse,
Angeli just had surgery on his Achilles. They've got a guy, Ricky something from LSU, Ricky Collins. Who's got talent, but he's just young. At NC State's probably the one that I'm, other than Boston College, scared the least of. I think we go roll NC State, to be honest.
Boston College, man, they lost a cow. You go 0-2 at Cal and Stanford, dude. What the hell?
Luckily, we get a bye after NC State, so we do have 2 pretty well-placed byes. Yeah. At Boston College, I think we'll roll Boston College. Pitt gave Louisville everything they wanted. Probably feel like they should have won that game. I'm still finishing watching that. Pitt's a tough team. Pitt has a pretty good defense. And then obviously Georgia, you win that one by 1 million. Not worried about it.
We're going to beat Georgia 100%.
Speaking
with my whole chest.
Speaking of Georgia, I know we talked about it on the phone. Can you imagine winning as much as they have and crashing out over 1 loss?
Yeah, dude. They're down bad. It's funny, man. I know I saw that you looked up Mike Bobo on Twitter last night.
Yeah.
That's just funny, man. They hate him.
They want to kill that guy. Literally.
They hate him.
Like, they think he's the issue. Meanwhile, they catch a personal foul penalty in a critical moment because whoever that number 1 was decided to dolphin dive like onto the pile, like you trying to make a tackle in NCAA 26. It's the same thing.
It's like they do that. It's like they do something stupid. That was just as dumb. Remember when Stetson Bennett takes a snap and it hits him in the face and he's like, ah. That was just as funny as that. I love that video of him just diving onto the pile. It's so funny.
Yeah, and then people defending it like, look, everyone was fine. I don't know why you would throw that flag there. It's like, you can't. He's like, oh, he only weighed so much.
First of all, it didn't really make a difference because they got the first down anyway. It just tacked on some yardage after that. But that was a completely stupid. And yes, he did deserve the penalty. Now, it would have been a different story if they didn't get – it would have been even funnier if they didn't get the first down. And that is what caused them to get the first.
They'd want to kill him and Bobo in the same, swing.
Yeah. The only really bad Bobo call, I think, was it was 3rd and 9, and they call a screen.
What about the BS targeting on Bama?
I did not see. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I saw the BS target. It was BS. I think it was stupid. He didn't. It was like I don't know how they. Nobody knows what targeting it is. I would imagine that it has to fulfill at least because the criteria is what launching, crown of the helmet, force contact to the head or neck area, defenseless player. Right? Is that the four things?
I'm not
I
sure.
would
Yes.
imagine it at least need to be two of those. But the only thing was he led with the crown. He didn't launch. He didn't. It wasn't a defenseless player. It wasn't forced contact to the head or neck area. So, but they called it on him anyway. Yeah, it was BS. I don't really understand why they did that. And now they're going to lose that guy in the first half against Vanderbilt. So they're cooked. They're cooked against Vanderbilt.
Speaking of, I saw this today. This is why sports betting is the dumbest shit ever. Did you see the worst, most brutal bad beat in the history of sports? Indiana and Iowa.
I saw no, I didn't see it, but I did see the player who apologized for it, saying, "I'm sorry that I might have messed up anybody's spread
What is one offensive
because
and one
they ran
defensive
an
adjustment you
intentional
would like to
safety."
see out of the bye week?
Sorry, and then it says, "What is one offensive and one defensive adjustment you like to say about?" We'll talk about that after we are done talking about this. Appreciate the $5. But basically, Indiana's up 20-13. That they're trying to run the last 4 seconds off, and they take an intentional safety, which means they don't cover the spread. The clock hit 0 as he passed the 20, running back to the end zone. Can you imagine losing like $200 or $300 on that?
Oh, that's funny. But if you're betting, I don't. Yeah, that's bad. I can't believe he apologized for that. Like you got to win the game, dude. Don't apologize to the freaking gamblers. Like, come on.
Oh, well, people are saying that like there's some conspiracy behind it, which
Right.
given how egregious that bad beat is, I could almost understand. Like, hey, dude, here's $10,000. Run like an idiot back into the end zone.
We've seen intentional safeties before. Sometimes you got to. I mean, sometimes you got to do them. They're great. They're really rare, but I mean, hey, you know.
Yeah, Mendoza ran like 30 yards to get that safety as well.
I feel bad for his stats because he takes a hit on with that.
Yeah,
his rushing yards
that
or
counts in
whatever.
his rushing yards. You're right.
Yeah.
So one offensive and one defensive adjustment I would like to see in the bye week. I'll start with defensive adjustments. We do stunt and stuff, but we've got to scheme up some stunt and blitz packages that get more pressure. We got to. We're not going to get pressure, I think, with the down 4 just naturally, not blitzing. But you've got to scheme up a way to like Wake Forest. That guy. I'm trying to think of how many pressures. I don't think that's a stat that's on ESPN. But if I had to guess, we might have pressured him 4 or 5 times in the entire game. Maybe. Yeah. Offensively, I don't even know there's an adjustment I feel like needs to be made offensively. It's a bigger issue than just some adjustment. It seems like, I mean, how many times did they put the stat on of Keys, 9-1 or 8-1 against ranked opponents, 8-8, or I guess 9-8 now against unranked ACC opponents. So there's some mental block or something of getting up for big teams and shitting the bed against a team that you should be able to walk out there.
Yeah.
So whatever's going on offensively where we do the thumb and ass routine, that needs to stop. What do you think?
So I'll agree with you on the defense a bit because obviously one of my biggest gripes has been the pass rush. It is what it is. I do like that we are rushing 4 more because obviously we did have problems getting pressure with 4, but we definitely have problems getting pressure with 3. You might as well not even be a pass rush at that point.
Well, 3-man rush is like a give up. Really, it's rare.
Yeah. No, we were doing we've ran
it's odd.
3. We've rushed 3. But anyway, On another thing, not just to piggyback off of you, but also setting the edge. Like they killed us on the bouncing outside.
Oh, that's a
this
good
past
point.
game. And
Yeah.
we never really bottled that up. So that would be nice to see.
Oh, real quick on that. If we don't correct that, Duke will run for 280 yards on us.
Right.
I saw probably 8 different bounce runs Duke against Syracuse that probably totaled 180 yards just on the bounce runs.
We're supposed to be the ones bouncing to the edge and killing you that way, not the other way around. Which we did not do well yesterday, whatsoever. They completely own the edges of the field on both sides of the ball. But
it felt like NCAA 26. I don't know, like when you try and run in that game and like someone will just stick their arm out and drag you down and you're like, I thought I had a wide open hole there. That's what it felt like watching us yesterday.
Yeah, it was rough. And then offensively, I guess, I don't know, can we resuscitate the running game? Because I don't know. That's the main issue that I have. Like, we have too good of running backs. And look, I mean, Jamal Haynes and Hosley, maybe not, the best running back pair in the country, but they should be doing better than 36 yards a game and 10 yards or whatever Jamal Haynes had.
They're pretty damn good running back combo, though, and it's unacceptable that Haynes King is doubling up their yardage every single game.
Yeah, I do love the adjustment that we made or the change, really more than just an adjustment of Haynes King throwing more. That's what I said we need to do because we got too talented of skill players to just completely rely on Haynes King. So I like that they're doing that more. If we could have that good of a passing performance like we had in the second half of yesterday and a competent running game, like what's changed from, 2 years ago? We had a freaking nasty running game. And that was Jamal Haynes. It was like Jamal Haynes, Dante Smith. Yeah. Like what happened, dude? Is Jamal Haynes hurt? I don't know, but I would love to see the running game. If we did that, we'd be freaking unstoppable.
Well, I do think that like the top of the ACC is down, but I do think the middle and bottom of the ACC is better than it has been as well.
It didn't appear that way a week or two ago. Like I was like looking at our schedule, they all lost on the same day, and I'm like, geez, these bunch of freaking bad news bears on our schedule. But now they are looking more competent. So
let's talk about some other games. We talked about Georgia Tech, Wake, and what's going on with Tech. We got to talk about Florida State taking an L to Virginia on a Friday night game. Now, this was everyone who has a channel was saying upset alert on this.
I want to say this. Imagine how bad you have to be to lose to Florida State. Just a horrible team.
Wasn't imagine Bama that bad? And who did Bama just beat?
Imagine losing to the team that lost to Florida State. That lost to NC State. That lost to Virginia Tech. That lost to Old Dominion. Saw that transitive property today.
Yeah, and look, like it was, again, not a fluke. Morris for Virginia threw 3 picks.
No, he did
Virginia, not play well.
Props to Virginia, man. They finally look competent under Tony Elliott. Like they were like Jeff Collins bad for a few years there, and they finally have a pulse.
Is another super chat?
Good.
I have to say watching the Wake students lined up on the hill to storm the field and turning around with the interception was heartwarming. Rolling on the floor laughing emoji.
Look, I don't know how you felt about that, but I'm honestly a little flattered that they were going to rush the field against us.
Yes, I was. It was like the girl at the dance that I like noticed me. I said, "What? People think that we're good enough to rush the field against?" Little old Tech.
It's crazy. It's crazy to be in this situation after what we've gone through. For teams lining up to rush the field against us. And then of a team that we shouldn't have come in here and freaking almost choked it the way we did. But we win anyway. but they were going to rush the field against us. It's just insane that we're in this position. I can't believe it. I'll never not be grateful for where we're at now versus where we were, under Jeff Collins.
I mean, think like year 3 of Jeff. If I leaned over to you and said, one day in the near future, someone's gonna try and rush the field on us.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, what, to assault Jeff Collins? Yeah, I will rush the field to do that.
Maybe I could see that if we did like a home and home with NIU. They might have rushed the field against beating, they love beating Power 5 teams or whatever, but
that was a bad look, man, because they did line up to rush the field before regulation even ended. They were like, there was like 3 minutes to go in the fourth.
I kind of get it. Like, I think 16 is a little low to be rushing the field, like at least be top 15 or something. But I mean, Wake Forest has been down bad, and I get it. Like, you've been watching your team just suck for years. We did the same thing against North Carolina. We beat number 13 North Carolina at home, even though we had beat them for years in a row. We beat them, and it was the first kind of huge win at home we had after going through such a horrible period. So I do get it.
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of get it. But back to Florida State. What a game!
I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back.
So I didn't say this in the video that I put out, but there's so many people like on Twitter are like, "Oh my God, I hope that Florida State receiver's okay." Like it was like a Lion King Mufasa getting trampled situation. I haven't seen one person that's worried about the Virginia defenders that were laying right next to him. Like, are you also not concerned for them? And this is why I'm so hard on the Florida State fan base. They've gone full, unapologetic Alex Jones conspiracy nut job stuff over this. Get behind me, Satan. The ACC is a corrupt cabal. Oh, they're turning the freaking conference horrible. They think that the refs shafted them at the behest of the ACC, and they never asked themselves, why? Why in the hell would the ACC have the refs screw Florida State so they could lose to Virginia, and then that way, when they play Miami next week, the rivalry game isn't a top 10 matchup? Why in the hell would the ACC do that? And then they'll also just say, well, I can't wait to get out of this garbage conference. Why? So you can go to the SEC and go 2-10 indefinitely? Is that what you want? Or go to the Big Ten and pray that maybe one day you'll be what Penn State is? It's not going to happen.
Are you talking about the fixes in?
Yeah, these guys are out of their minds. I saw Jen Knoll like, the ACC's corrupt, ACC this. How can you shit on a conference that you've shit on with your play?
I hate to be conceited and make everything about us, but it's kind of crazy that they're saying that the ACC was, conspiring to make us the
Shut up, universe. It's not just about a paycheck, man. Y'all want to clutch your pearls. Well, get a paycheck and get the hell out. Go. Be gone. Y'all got all this Saudi Arabia money. Oh, we got all this investment money. We're going to be out tomorrow. We're going to be out today. Go. Leave. Bye.
You nobody wants you. The SEC's not taking you. They don't want you. You're not getting the paycheck from the SEC. If you left today, the Big Ten don't want you either. You'd end up in the Big 12. That's where you would end up, or independent.
This is why they're so stupid. When you point out how stupid they are, they're like, "Oh, so we made you mad. We win. We made you mad." You are the I hope to God y'all hire Deion Sanders or whatever's left of them. Whenever y'all fire Mike Norvell, then you can have exactly. Y'all are two peas in a pod. Two peas in a pod. Try to continue to make you mad. It's funny. It made you funny. You know what's funny? You getting your ass beat by Virginia, and then you're going to get your ass beat by Miami, and then every time you play Georgia Tech, you get your ass beat.
You know, I hope they do beat Miami because that would really, really clear the path for us in the ACC.
Congratulations on being jack shit this year too, buddy. Congratulations. But hey, your brand though, right? Your brand. Who else?
Florida State thinks they're way more important than they are.
They do. I mean, who the hell else are you going to lose to if you can't beat Virginia? Do you think Virginia is a world beater now too? What mental gymnastics now must you go through in whatever brain cells you have left to make this make sense to you? Who else had an embarrassing loss? We talked about Georgia. We talked about Florida State.
NC State had a horrible loss.
NC State.
The dang interim freaking Virginia Tech.
So I haven't watched any of that game. So, but it is a bad look. You know who's happy? Pigskin Pete.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's thrilled.
I'm sure.
I did. So when I was watching Syracuse Duke, Fran Brown. Hold on one second.
We have people wanting to storm the field, but Publix does not carry our balloons. Please let FSU beat Miami.
Please let FSU beat Miami. You know what? As much as I despise Florida State, it would not surprise me if they beat Miami either. Like it wouldn't.
In fact, I hope they do.
Then they'd both have one loss. Who are the undefeated teams right now? Miami, Georgia Tech, Louisville doesn't have a loss. Who else doesn't have a loss? I think there's another one. Virginia. Virginia, even though they lost to NC State, that game for reasons didn't count as a conference game because they both needed another game on their schedule. And so it wasn't a conference game. So Virginia.
Why would you then schedule someone from your own conference? It's just weird.
We live in a world now where you can lose to a team in your conference and still be undefeated in that conference.
I understand, like, when whatever it was, they changed the ACC schedule, and it was two North Carolina teams. Like, it was like NC State and North Carolina. Like, they had always played each other. They were rivals. They scheduled it because they got unscheduled in the ACC. They went ahead and scheduled, but NC State and Virginia aren't rivals. So what in the hell are you scheduling each other for out of conference?
Well, you're telling me, like, look at what the SEC does. They find nobody state to play. Y'all couldn't have found nobody state to play? Or maybe
I mean,
they
proud
wanted
for scheduling a damn Power 4 team, like whatever, but you couldn't go outside the conference. It's just weird. I don't know.
Can't call it. Super chat from Nerd. Appreciate the $5.
The CUSA wouldn't want them. My Mo State Bears don't deserve to be in a conference with them Seminoles.
Damn, man. You gonna let Nerd Stop dog walk you up and down the internet?
Dang, man.
Whew. Yeah, Mo State a better brand. I don't know what to tell you. Virginia is obviously going to lose to a bad ACC team in a week or two. Well, that's something y'all have in common, I guess. So that makes you feel better. Nice haircut. Yeah, I went in and said, I don't care. And then this is what I came out with.
Wreck.
Drill Sergeant Wreck.
I mean, you got the buzz cut and the freaking chopper stash.
I need the aviators now.
It's a good look.
You like that? Also, this is what Georgia Tech has done to me. You see all this gray hair, dude?
Yeah.
My
wife keeps pointing out mine. And I'm like, man, I'm 27. You got to leave me alone.
Dude, my ex-wife would poke my belly, my fat belly. And I'd be like, what if I did that to you? I feel like that wouldn't go the other way.
No, wouldn't. Or if I point out her gray hair. It's her fault that I have them. She's sitting right here.
Just pull a universe and be like, did I make you mad, Mr. C-Dog? I made you mad, didn't I? Mo State has merch in South Carolina. Tell me who the bigger brand is.
Damn.
Get them, Nerd Stop. Get them. Oh, me. What else do we need to talk about? In fact, let me just pull up all the conference games that were played.
It was a pretty great weekend for games.
How many games went to overtime? 3 or 4 this weekend? There was a lot.
So
Our game.
Illinois rushed the field against Southern Cal too, which we were talking about field rushing, which I thought was a little crazy.
Oh, TCU was up 17-0 at one point on Arizona State. Came back and won 27-24 on a last-second field goal. That was a Friday night game. I can't believe I forgot to talk about this. Ben Waller, thank you. Deion Sanders is the biggest embarrassment to football as a coach that there's ever been. If you guys didn't see it, we did a late night stream. It went till like almost 2 a.m, I think, where we talked. It was basically hardcore history, where I talked about like all the presidents I liked and all these conspiracies and JFK and stuff. And then, as interesting as that was, I had to address Deion Sanders, who credit to Colorado State in that game. Salter played better, but they go for it on 4th, don't get it. They're down by 3. BYU gets the ball back with like 30 or 40 seconds. Deion has 2 timeouts. Deion's now pocketed more timeouts than first half points we had against Wake Forest. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. BYU had snapped it over their own quarterback's head already in that game. You could call a timeout. Maybe something like that happens and get the ball back. Now you'll never know. You'll never know if something crazy would have happened. They let the BYU's quarterback, who's number 47 for some reason, I thought about you, CDOGG. BYU's quarterback is number 47.
That's unacceptable.
And I don't know if this is true. People in the chat were saying it's because of Donald Trump. It's because Donald Trump is like President 47, which is
that's wild.
Hilarious, by the way.
That is wild.
And I respect that decision. But they let him run around for like 20 seconds. They didn't even try and tackle him. He could have ran it for a touchdown probably if he wanted to. Doesn't use either of his timeouts. And the media in Colorado are so beat down and have no backbone. They didn't ask him once about that. They were just like, "Oh, what do you think? Salter's really good, isn't he?"
That's rough.
And then he ran off. He didn't take a ton of questions. But I said this last night too. I not only do I think this will be Deion Sanders' last year at Colorado, I don't know that he'll finish the season.
You think so?
I think
you think he'll quit or get fired?
Well, let's say that he's not going to make a bowl. I remember looking at the schedule. He maybe like Kent State. He could be.
I've got it pulled up here.
Kansas State.
We went through it already, and so they have at TCU next week. Iowa State at home, at Utah, Arizona at home, at West Virginia.
Maybe they could beat West Virginia.
Arizona State at home,
no,
and then at Kansas State. So they might beat Kansas State.
I think they might have 3 more wins.
So that's like 2 or 3 more wins at most.
That's 5.
At most. So they're They're not making a bowl.
In other words, he might lose 3 or 4 in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know what?
TCU lost, Iowa State, Arizona, Utah, all losses. Yeah.
Hold on. What was I going to say? What the hell was I going to say? Oh, this is one of the funniest things I've ever seen since I've been doing this. So I followed a bunch of the Colorado fans because we opened up with them. They've all now made Travis Hunter their profile pic instead of whatever dumb Colorado thing. Like they're just done. And we predicted this. They're not Colorado fans. They never were. They don't care about the University of Colorado. Now, magically, they're all NFL fans. So the best thing, the best scenario, again, this is not even me shitting on Colorado. The best scenario for Colorado is if Deion Sanders stepped down. That's the best thing. What do you mean? Dude, I've been saying this forever. We were going to hire Deion Sanders, and I said it then, dumbass. You want to go back and watch the video or go watch Lou and nut hug him.
I wanted to hire Deion Sanders. I was wrong.
This dumbass wanted to hire him. That's one of the first videos I ever did was making fun of Deion.
No, I wanted to. I really did. I thought he was a great recruiter and it'd be funny. It'd be fun, but then I saw how he fired his offensive coordinator just to pump up his son's stats, and I was like, wow. I'm glad that we didn't do that.
It's worse than that.
That's coaching malpractice.
He calls schemes. This isn't coming from me. This is for one of the guys I was on a show with that's like a donor, alumni, lifelong Colorado fan. So through and through Colorado, tried to justify to me 5 downs not being any sort of an advantage in 1990. He said, I will give you this. Last year when they played BYU and they had Travis Hunter, Deion Sanders made them play exclusively man that they got beat bad in because it would be better for Travis and Shiloh in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
That's who they're dealing with. He doesn't care about winning football games.
Mm-mm.
He does not care. Key has his faults, but I'm extremely happy we didn't hire him either. Yeah. To my knowledge, we had someone that went down, talked with him. And this isn't just something that's on Deion. Obviously he wanted to wipe the staff, bring his own people in. And that's the reason we didn't hire Jamie Chadwell. We were going to hire Willie Fritz. That cold water was thrown on that.
Thank God.
Yeah. Now look, he's undefeated at Houston. To give him credit, he did barely beat Oregon State, who's down bad. Did someone say someone else got fired? Did Sam Pittman get fired today?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, they got whooped by Notre Dame at home.
Damn. Yep, Arkansas fires.
Poor old Sam Pittman, but he's going to be a good hire for somebody.
Where would Sam
as a coordinator or as a O-line coach? I mean, he's going to be the best O-line coach wherever he goes or whatever.
Bobby Petrino's the interim. Can we talk about that for a second? If you guys don't know, because this was like back when I was in high school or middle school, Bobby Petrino was the coach at Arkansas. Do you know why he was fired or stepped down? I don't remember which one it was, but he had a mistress that was like 20-something years old that was on staff. Now, he's married. The age gap isn't as bad as Belichick and Jordan, but it was comparable to that. The reason that was found out is because he wrecked his motorcycle with her on it. So there's a police report of him wrecking his motorcycle with this chick, and he was fired. He pissed down Louisville's throat. They hired him back. He shit on Arkansas, and now he's the interim. What does this man have to do to not be hireable as a head coach? Like, it's the most bizarre thing ever.
I don't know, man. Pretty wild.
Yeah, she was a grad assistant. Now, in his defense, well, let me. I haven't seen her in a while. Let me see. Let's see what she looks like. See if that was worth it. Grad assistant. Sure, that'll pull it up. I remember her being fairly attractive. I don't know. Not worth it. Never mind. Yeah, that wasn't worth it. No, it's not worth millions of dollars. Arkansas should hire Jeff Collins. He was the coach of the Falcons. Obviously everything with Michael Vick happens with the dog fighting. No one in the world would have blamed him if he went to Arthur Blank and said, look, this is not what I signed up for. I don't want any part of this. I'm going to step down, go back to college. No one would have blamed him for that. Instead, he lies to Arthur Blank's face and say, nope, I'm 100% your man. The next day, after he tells Arthur Blank that, he's singing Old Suey at Arkansas. He puts a note in the locker of the players. I remember Joey Harrington. Do you remember who Joey Harrington is, CDOGG?
No.
He was a quarterback for Oregon. He was on the cover of NCAA 2003, I think. And Joey was just holding the letter like, I don't know what the hell just happened, man. Who did we get after him? He was a coach at UCLA for a while. Who the Falcons hired after Bobby Petrino? Something more. Either way. Jim Mora. Yeah, his dad was a coach too. Yep, those notes in the lockers. You can't spell
I don't
ass
know.
without
The Falcons
Petrino.
suck. The Falcons suck. I don't keep up with them.
Yeah, the Falcons are not doing a good job at making me give a shit about the NFL. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't. I'd sooner be a Lions fan and cheer for Jahmyr Gibbs than the Falcons.
That's right. So you know the famous clip, playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. That's Jim Mora's dad, who was the coach after Petrino at the Falcons. Yeah, he's Jim Mora Jr. The Falcons won today. It's a miracle. My God, did we cheat? We must have cheated.
Dang.
We need to. Do we have any clips like that? Hold a Hole is probably going to be as popular as playoffs.
Hold a Hole was good. We both had like a. We both saw the tush push. We looked at each other. We had a psychic connection where we were both like, we should do the tush push. We should reenact the tush push together. But that's where our psychic connection stopped because we both then tried to be the
pusher.
The pushed, not the pusher.
No, the pusher. Let me see if I can find it, and then we'll get out of here. That was a great moment. It's one of the most proud moments I've had in my life. Yeah, I actually showed my ex-wife. I was like, "This is what I do." So when you make fun of me, this is this is what I do with my time. Yeah. Are you excited about any games coming up?
Of course. Next weekend, yeah. Well, first of all, I like watching ACC games. Like, I know that they're not the most popular games, but I love our little conference, even though we're probably the worst Power 4 conference and we are probably on borrowed time.
Yeah.
I do enjoy ACC football. I love these guys. I love the ACC show, and it's a freaking good time. We got a Friday night game. I'm stoked on that.
Who plays Friday night?
West Virginia versus BYU at 10:30 p.m.
Oh, I can't believe I forgot to mention that. Now, if you watched the stream last night, you know I'm now a Mormon. I did say during the stream I would convert to Mormonism if by some miracle we beat Wake Forest. So I literally sold my soul to Joseph Smith for a win. So never say I don't do anything for Georgia Tech.
Dum 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 dum. So I actually do have my baby shower this Saturday. So it's a good thing we're on a bye week, which I totally plan that. And then let's see, there's Kentucky, Georgia. Don't know about that. Boston College, Pittsburgh. I mean, I'll watch that. Clemson, North Carolina, the Toilet Bowl.
What time is that?
Lord.
Is that at 3:30?
It's at high noon.
Oh, I want to stream that. I know Pete's going to be streaming it, but
Wake Forest, Virginia Tech. That'll be interesting.
Oh, people want to know where you're registered, CDOGG. Can people send you a gift?
Oh, you guys want to send me a gift? Well, that's so sweet.
Yeah. You want to look for the link and I'll show them our tush push?
Yeah, I guess so. Go ahead.
All right. Now this, let me switch. This is one of the moments I'm most proud of in my life. Oh, I don't have the sound on. Hold on.
Touch punch! Touch punch! Touch punch! Touch punch! Oh, yeah. We both wanted to be pushed. We just went hole to hole. We both wanted to be pushed. Go! We went hole.
Did I just say go? We went whole. I think I did. Yeah. So that was a great moment. When are you getting the magic underwear? I'll look that up. I think like a chastity belt. Now I'm gonna have to hide my caffeine usage. I do drink about 15 Diet Cokes a day. I think that is frowned upon. Which one are you streaming this weekend? I don't know. I think I'm going to have my kid the whole weekend as to ring in some favors. So I'll have to see about that. I'm not too keen on having her on stream. And it's kind of impossible when she's here because like she'll see me when my daughter will see me when I'm recording. And this is what she'll do. She'll see it and then she'll be like she knows the camera's on. She'll strike a pose. It just occurred to me, Vandy, Bama, and game day this weekend. Vandy is headlining game day. I did not know that. Both born sinners. Yeah, I guess so. As you should, go to dad. Never show your kids online. It happened once, and there wasn't anything I could do about it. Maybe if I make her wear a mask. You think that would work?
Do what? Wear a mask? What?
If I
Make her wear a mask?
Yeah.
That's going to be my idea.
All right, you got a link for him?
Yeah, I'll have to do it on my phone because I couldn't find it in the thing.
Appreciate the $5 from Josh.
Go Jackets, rise
Yeah.
up, roll Tide into hell with Georgia. What a weekend, boys.
She would never wear the buzzsaw mask. How dare you say that? How dare you? Why is that? Oh, that's real funny, CDOGG. That's real funny. Have my daughter wear the buzzsaw mask. Y'all are a bunch of tricksters.
I don't know why she wouldn't want to wear the greatest Georgia Tech wrestling personalities mask.
Oh yeah, you might as well. Okay, just make her not my daughter.
I don't know why she wouldn't want to do that.
All right, I'm gonna pin this at the top of the chat. This is CDOGG's registry. So if you want to send them something nice, you can do that. How do I pin this? Pin message. So yep,
appreciate it. We have most of the stuff, bought already. But if somebody wanted to throw something towards a diaper fund or something, that'd be much appreciated.
Diaper, you're gonna need a lot of them.
Yeah, of course. We don't expect that, but appreciate it big time.
They don't expect it, but if you don't, I will end the channel tomorrow. Buzzsaw needs to do another promo. Yeah, he does.
Oh, don't worry. There'll be Buzzsaw content coming. Don't even sweat it. I've got one or two potentially. I might combine them, but probably not potential Buzzsaw videos planned for this season, which usually I only do one because they're really hard to make.
Yes.
But I produce the whole thing. But yeah, there's going to be at least one really good one.
Can you do what channels did in the early days of YouTube and for every class project where you put produced by CDOGG, music by CDOGG, like every credit is just
you?
Everything.
Yeah, I could do that. Camera work is my buddy Cameron. He always does the camera work. But that's about the only thing that's not done by CDOGG. But the actor, of course, the talent, which is the Buzzsaw, deserves the credit too.
Will there be a Buzzsaw versus Macho Wreck Part 2? Well, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like
Part 3
or Part 3.
They've already faced off Part 3 twice.
What was the biggest blowout and you've ever seen in football? Like Georgia TCU or something, or Georgia Florida State? And basically the point I'm making is, do you want to see that game again? Because that's
because the Buzzsaw dog walked Macho Wreck last year in every possible.
Buddy, he bent you into a pretzel. It was so bad.
Sure you kept putting polls up and kept losing them.
Buddy,
I mean, damn.
The majority of the population in this country, their moms took Tylenol. So, that's a logical fallacy. That's an argument. That's like an appeal to authority. So you just showed your relative ignorance there.
Listen to the mental gymnastics he has to do to justify.
It's not mental gymnastics. I mean, you can view it. Honestly, honest to God, you're so deluded. The Buzzsaw, I think, is not even a real Georgia Tech fan. I think he's a Florida State fan. As delusional as he might be a Colorado fan.
The Buzzsaw single-handedly defeat the ukulele last year. Single-handedly defeated the ukulele. and paved the way for Georgia Tech to win that game.
This is how delusional. Like Universe is saying, I was at the 63-3 game, but I was also at the game we blew out Zach Pyron. He's bragging about blowing out Zach Pyron. That's like you bragging about whatever the hell you're bragging about right now. Josh, he's
Zach Pyron. That's wild. That was our backup quarter. That was a true freshman, Zach Pyron.
with a broken collarbone.
I don't think he had broke it yet.
SC
No, he didn't. No, that wasn't Zach. That was Zach Gibson because Zach Pyron came at the very end of that game and led us to a touchdown drive. I remember that.
Oh,
And
he
then
didn't even.
started
You're
the
right.
next week.
You're right. So you're bragging
then he-
about Zach Gibson. What's he doing now? He
that
got
was
beat
Zach
out
Gibson.
at Georgia State.
Rough. That was
SEC,
a Collins. That was a Collins guy.
didn't they lose to Jeff Collins?
What?
Florida State lost to Jeff Collins.
Oh my God. I wouldn't show my face on the internet if I lost to Jeff Collins.
You know what that's like? Have you ever watched To Catch a Predator?
Yeah.
There's one where the guy's like, you were sending pictures, weren't you? Was this one of them? And he just goes, ew. That's what losing to Jeff Collins is like. You're just like, ew.
Yeah. Yeah, you blew it. Gibson is at FAU now and is the backup. Damn.
Can you imagine just keep going down levels of play and keep
Yeah.
getting beat out? CDOGG says, y'all finally have a head coach. Just wanted to congratulate you on overcoming adversity. You know how I feel about that word. And winning the game. Collins would have lost by 3 scores in that game. Collins would have lost by more than 3 scores and then licked the balls of the entire Wake Forest team. Like, oh my guys, this team, I mean, they're one of the best teams in our conference. Didn't they beat Kennesaw State by 1 point? Yeah, Kennesaw State's one of the best teams in their conference.
You got to understand Kennesaw State's elite and high level.
I said, I think he'd be great for Kennesaw State. I would, you know how happy I would be if I could go to Kennesaw State games and he was the coach and just heckle him endlessly. I mean, that would be.
Yeah. What did Kennesaw State do to deserve that?
They didn't do it. I don't look. I have a Kennesaw State jersey in the WreckTalk War Room.
Jeff Collins. I want Jeff Collins to go somewhere and ruin our opponents' lives. Like keep going to North Carolina. Like him going to North Carolina was amazing. Like we couldn't have drawn it up any better, really. I mean, we got to beat him.
No, I went there
on a player that he had like screwed over. What was it?
Jamal Haynes. Yeah, he like,
Yeah.
hey, come over here. We have a scholarship for you. And then once Jamal Haynes got here, he's like,
Yeah. I mean, that was amazing.
Universe says the Georgia Tech North Carolina thing is so unexplainable. It's kind of like Alabama Georgia. It's actually nothing like Alabama Georgia because Alabama had a dynasty. North Carolina's had whatever the opposite of a dynasty is. I mean, how bad is North Carolina?
It doesn't matter how bad or good North Carolina is or how bad or good we are. We still beat them.
I guess it's like that. It's like it in that scenario. Yeah. I mean, that's when Key was in his interim year 3 different times was a 3 touchdown or worse road underdog and won.
I don't know how he pulled that shit off. That's crazy.
Dude, I don't either. KSU is 3-2. Collins would have beat Miami, maybe. I think he did beat Miami.
He did in the first year, yeah.
Because who are the ACC teams he beat? He beat NC State. He beat North Carolina. He beat Florida State.
If you can believe it. Back when Satterfield was still there. Duke. He beat North Carolina.
And Miami.
It's a short list. Florida State and Miami.
Yeah. Never had back-to-back wins ever.
Yeah.
In 3 1/4
I have
seasons.
I have a video called Top 10 Jeff Collins Wins. He only had it was his third. It was like during his 4th year, and he didn't even have 10 wins yet. So it got to 9, or it got to 9, and then that was it. And the 10th one was just blank. And then it said, "Thanks for watching." That was a good one.
Satterfield is trash. Where is he now? Cincinnati?
Yeah. Yeah, Satterfield is trash. They totally imagine going from Luke Fickell to Satterfield. Jeez. So here it is. Top 10 wins of the Jeff Collins era. Yeah, North Carolina, Florida State, NC State, Miami, Louisville, Duke, and that's it. God dang, this is this is a brutal list, dude. We were so down bad. God,
That's
this
one
is
of
throughout 3 years.
that was one of the darkest periods in my life, legitimately. Like,
Yeah,
I was legitimately depressed. Like,
yeah.
the one thing I had to look forward to in life, he completely shit all over and then wagged his finger at us. If you don't see the improvement in this team, you don't want to see it.
I know, dude.
Then gets beat 100-0 in the next 2 games. He did. He got beat 45 to nothing.
I'll never forget
Georgia.
it. I know. I remember. Rock bottom. Georgia Tech hits one of my saddest videos. One of my saddest videos is called Georgia Tech hits rock bottom, 55 to nothing Notre Dame. And I was just sitting there in the dark with the TV softly playing, and I was so sad, dude. And I was just like, man, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, like Georgia Tech gets done, getting blown out by Notre Dame, and I'm a college football fan, so I watched the rest of the games around the country, and I'm jealous of them. They have teams that can complete a pass and don't turn the ball over 5 times a game, and they just have competent, and I'm jealous of them. Like I was down so bad after that. It was brutal.
That's probably a good place to end the show. I know I've told you this, but the guy that me and my dad goes to games with, it leaned over. I think it was middle of year 3. He's like, one day we're going to look back on this and be able to laugh.
Yeah.
And we're there. I can laugh and not be mad about it.
I never thought it'd be so soon.
It was immediate. It was almost immediate.
Yeah. I mean, it was. We immediately, Key took over. We immediately went on the road and won and beat a ranked Pitt team on the road that week.
Do we play Virginia? No, we don't. We play Virginia Tech. We don't play Virginia. Honestly, as much shit as I gave Florida State, I'm kind of glad we don't play Virginia. Virginia's playing really good football lately. Like,
yeah, they're scary.
They're averaging like over 40 points a game.
It didn't, we didn't obviously know it going into the year, but we wound up with a pretty favorable ACC schedule.
No, a really favorable schedule. I mean, Virginia beat Coastal Carolina 48-7. They lost a close one to NC State 35-31 on the road. Then they beat William and Mary Tribe 55. Who is William and Mary Tribe? Is that like on the reservation? Stanford 48-20. And then they beat Florida State in overtime. So they've got Louisville next week. Now, if they go on the road and beat Louisville next week, I'm going to be sold on Virginia. But then they have their ACC opponents. They've got at North Carolina, which they will be favored in, most likely. At Cal. Who knows what to think about Cal right now?
Yeah.
Wake Forest. I'm not just saying this because we probably should have got beat by Wake. Wake is definitely better than I thought they were. At Duke will be a tough one, and then Virginia Tech.
Yep.
So, well, all right, guys. I appreciate y'all coming in. I appreciate everyone who super chatted. Remember, CDOGG's registry is pinned at the top of the chat there if you want to get them something nice. And we'll talk to you guys later.